Hi, and welcome to This Week in East Brunswick, the Township's own video magazine. This week, we'll work our way through the crowd gathered for the program registration at the Senior Center. Channel 8's Stuart Davis interviews the founder of C.E.B.U.G, otherwise known as Commodore East Brunswick Users Group. And we'll feature an excerpt of About East Brunswick with the mayor. Our regular features will include Middlesex County Agricultural Agent Pegi Ballister-Howells with information about transplanting unusual onions and comments on the Constitution with Stephen Cheng. Health Facts focuses on Mental Health Month with Doug Halverson. And Adrian Eisner offers information on lawnmower safety on Consumer Aware. We'll wrap up with the weekly review of the most recent Township Council meeting. But first, here's a preview of the lineup for next week on Channel 8. At 10 Monday morning, Lenore Kulik presents aerobics and a workout for stomach and thighs on Look Great, Feel Great. At 10:30, for the preschoolers, it's Stories from the Library. Tuesday evening at 7, the City of Beverly Hills presents In Print with host Michael Cart. At 7:30, Ken Shalhoub investigates nutritional support and chronic lung disease on Let's Talk Health. Paul Hansen looks at making financial planning less frightening on you and your money at 8 p.m. Business Bylines follows at 8:30 with a look at the local business climate. Wednesday night at 7:30, Spotlight on Education will take you to the Monmouth County Museum with Frost second graders. At 8, Stuart Davis hosts a discussion on AIDS and teens on 18 growing up in East Brunswick. This Week in East Brunswick returns at 7 and 8 p.m. Thursday night, and at 7:30 Thursday night, Stored Communications presents Psychology in Action. Now over to the Senior Center. Last Friday, Cynthia Schechter introduced us to Mary Ellen Luptak, the Senior Center's new program coordinator.
Good afternoon. I'm Cynthia Schechter, manager of the Office on Aging, and we are here at the Senior Citizen Center registering for the variety of programs that we're going to offer the seniors during the month of May. May is Senior Citizens Month, and so we're going to have an extremely active month. With me is the new program coordinator of the Senior Center, Mary Ellen Luptak. And Mary Ellen has planned some wonderful things for us, and I know she wants to tell you about them.
Thank you, Cynthia. I have just become the program coordinator as of March, and I'm really enjoying working with the seniors. As Cynthia said, May is a very, very busy month. We just started up a new art class, which we're going to have on Thursdays at 11:45, and we were able to get a Mrs. Pegi Grady in, and she was a former instructor at Montclair State College. We also have the great honor to have Joanne Russell, who teaches music in the township. She will be doing a music class every other Wednesday at 10:30. And now with our Sunday programs, we will have on the 15th a trip to Trenton Planetarium, and also a stop at McDonald's on the way back. That will be on the 15th. On the 22nd, we're going to have a cake and cookie demonstration that will take place right here. Also, the 29th, the township has its Memorial Day party. We will have rides available for anyone who needs it. Also, on Fridays really is our trip day. On the 13th Friday, we will be going to Atlantic City to Caesars. The following Friday, the 20th, we will be going to Flemington. And the last Friday of the month, the 27th, we'll be having our 4th anniversary party here in the center. We are going to the Middlesex College on May 26th to partake in a senior seminar. And they will have an excellent speaker, Dr. Elliot Kaplan, and they will have workshops that we hope that the seniors will come out and join with us. On the 11th, we will be going to participate at Piscataway Senior Center. They are having all the talented people and the seniors come together, and we are having Hawaiian dancers from our center and the men's chorus who will participate. On the 23rd, which is a Monday, we are invited for a free eye screening over in Island, and also a luncheon to follow. We have, as you can see, an awful lot going on, and we hope that anyone who has not been involved with the center will come out and join us. Thank you very much.
With me this afternoon is Ruth Brimlow, who participates in many of the programs here at the Senior Center. Ruth, I wonder if you'd tell us a little bit about what you do here and why you like it.
Well, on Monday I go to crafts, and that's very interesting because each week we do something different. Tuesday I go to exercise to keep my figure. Wednesday I go to the mall or I participate in discussions. Thursday I'm learning how to play pool because I want to be able to beat the men. And Friday I do whatever's going on.
Would you like to tell us what you registered for today?
I registered to go to Atlantic City, to go to the planetarium, and for the party, and for Flemington. So I'm quite a busy girl.
Another active member of our senior group is Alice Box. Alice, would you like to tell us a little bit about your participation in the Senior Citizen Program?
Well, I kind of feel the Senior Center is my second home. I live alone. I frequently come and have a beautiful lunch here. I play bingo sometimes with some of the seniors. I have my blood pressure taken sometimes. And most of all, I meet so many different people and get to know them. We make each other laugh a little bit and pass the time. I really feel I don't know what I would do without the Senior Center.
Lest you think that all we do is go to Atlantic City and have parties, there is a very serious side to the Senior Citizens Program. We have a general meeting where all participants are invited once a month, and we do discuss issues not only affecting us on a local level, but also on a county, state, and national level. Our seniors are extremely concerned about such issues as health care, Medicare, Social Security, and all of the other problems that deal with aging, health, and retirement. They hope to be a voice that's heard to help make life better for all senior citizens everywhere.
Now, if you're interested or you missed any of the dates given out earlier, you can pick up a copy of The Voice of Experience located in the Office on Aging in the Senior Center. This month on About East Brunswick with the Mayor, Mayor Fox discusses recommendations for changing the Township's master plan with Chairman of the East Brunswick Planning Board Nelson Silver, Township Planner Leslie McGowan, and Consultant Jay Lynch.
I would say that if you look at the characteristics of East Brunswick now as compared with 1958 when the earlier master plan was undertaken, at that time they were looking at vast areas of open space, undeveloped land, and they had to chart a future for many acres of land. At the point we are now, we've about turned the corner, and most of the zoning and land use decisions that are being made now are made in the context of the characteristics of existing development and how that existing development pattern impacts on the few remaining vacant parcels that are really subject to the type of development that would require, for example, sewer and water services.
Leslie, what is the estimate of population today?
The population estimate for today is approximately 42,000 people.
Do we have a sense of whether that's a low number or a high number? How do we arrive at that?
Okay, the population estimates are generated in my department. Every time a property changes hands, there's a form that's completed in the assessor's office which tells us how many people are occupying the unit and the specific type of unit. So from that data, we develop up-to-date population multipliers, and then simply a matter of really plug in the population multipliers into new development. And that's how we get our up-to-date numbers. The numbers that the state puts out based on building permits and so forth are not too far off from what our numbers have been.
And Jay, you've looked at these numbers and
Yes.
Agree with that ballpark?
Yes, one of the difficulties in estimating population is that the background population, the people who have been here for a long period of time, generally have a tendency to see a decline in that population because of the effect of children reaching the age of 18 and either going on to college or moving out of the home for some other reason. When they go off to college, they get counted as a resident of the town in which the college is located, so they're not counted as a resident of East Brunswick anymore. And because of the peculiarities of birth rates and swings in the number of births, more people 18 and over are leaving the township than there are new children being born, so that there is that effect of the background population of the township declining, and the growth in the township population is occurring only as a result of the new housing that's being built. There's a certain quantity of new housing that has to be built just to overcome the background loss that's going on.
So if there were no new housing being constructed, we actually would be losing population.
Yes.
Okay, Nelson, when you have this type of information in hand, how then does that get utilized in making recommendations about the master plan?
What you do is take a look at the existing land use, the vacant parcels, and feed it back in, as Jay said, to the physical characteristics. And then you look at the map, and you somehow, it's almost, to me it seems intuitive. You get this feel for what the development should be. You've got environmentally sensitive areas, but as Jay mentioned, west of the turnpike, and you take a look and you say, you know, currently it's zoned 2 units to the minimum of 2 acres. Mm-hmm. With an option to cluster it down to 1 acre. And you look at that, and you look at the state development and redevelopment plan, as mentioned earlier, and you know, you've seen what development has taken place in that area and its environmental sensitivity, and you come up with you can draw what I believe is a logical conclusion that 2 acres is too small for that area. It should be larger. So then, with Jay's assistance, the committee reaches a number, something that represents reasonable acreage, something that's not too large, that would be what the courts call a taking, and but larger than what's there now, because the development, even though it's occurring, a lot of it's occurring on 1 acre lots, the feeling is that's even too intense for that area because of its environmental sensitivity.
To see this program in its entirety, tune in tonight at 8:30 or check the Channel 8 program guide for repeats.
Hello, my name is Stephen Cheng. I'm a 9th grader at Churchill Junior High School. I will be presenting this week's comment on the Constitution. The 14th Amendment, also known as the Civil Rights Amendment, was ratified on July 9, 1866. It states that anyone born or naturalized in the U.S. are citizens of the United States. No state is allowed to abridge or take away the privileges which the citizen has. The main purpose of the 14th Amendment was to make former slaves citizens of the United States. Under the 14th Amendment, any child, no matter what their race, cannot be denied an equal right for an education. The amendment also states that representatives are to be equally divided amongst states according to the population. If any state refuses to accept someone's vote who is 21 years of age, then they will be penalized unless this person has committed a crime. Section 3 of the 14th Amendment states that if a government official or a member of Congress has committed a serious crime, then he or she cannot be a senator, a representative in Congress, an elector, or hold any government office. Section 4 of the 14th Amendment states that the public should not question Congress if they were to pass a law saying that they were going to borrow goods which would help defend the nation.
Hello, I'm Stuart Davis for This Week in East Brunswick. Tonight I'm with the Commodore Computer Group. You'll see more and more computers coming out of the workforce and out of school and coming into people's after-school and after-work activities. Tonight I talk with the president of the Commodore Group, Dave Pollock, about what their group is all about.
The name of the club, as I'm sure you've already noticed, is C.E.B.U.G, which stands for Commodore East Brunswick users group. We're about 5 years old now. We started out at the East Brunswick High School. There were a number of people who started the club. One of them, who was the guidance counselor at the time at the East Brunswick High School, Bob Osborne. It was myself, Bob McBride, who may be here a little bit later. We used to meet at the high school once a month, and about 3 years ago, we were fortunate enough to get the library as a meeting room, as a meeting place, and we've gotten more and more members.
What does your group do here?
Okay. What we try to do is get together once a month and help people with a lot of their problems. For example, you know, how do you take the machine out of the box? Which switches do you turn on? Which cables do you put in which plugs? We start at that level, and then we go into more advanced kinds of problems, programming, basic programming. How do you run certain software? How do you do word processing?
When people think of computers, they think about business and they think of schoolwork. Is this what your group is all about?
No, I think you'll find that the people that belong to this club, you know, a lot of them, you know, do work in business and in the commercial world, but when they come to this club, they kind of shed their suits and their neckties and they roll up their sleeves and you'd like to play around with it. It's not considered a business computer. However, in some parts of Europe and Canada especially, it's used for business quite a bit, unlike the United States. It's actually, if I'm not mistaken, Commodore makes most of its revenue in outside of the United States.
Pollock says C.E.B.U.G welcomes any new members with an interest in computers, and he adds that the group recently donated this 30-inch monitor for the library's use. For This Week in East Brunswick, I'm Stuart Davis with the C.E.B.U.G group.
Hi, this is Peggy Ballister-Howells, your Middlesex County agricultural agent, and I'm sitting here next to some very strange plants. They're called Egyptian onions. And one of the reasons that they're so strange is that instead of getting the onions on the bottom, like most onions, they get onions on the top. Now at the very top of these plants, they send out, later in the season, a bunch of little bulbs. And they look like this. These are the little top onions that fell down from last year and rooted themselves and are starting to grow. And if I dig them out, I can show you. All of these little onions that grow in clusters are the ones that grew off the top last year. Now I'm having some problems with these onions, and not because they're not growing well. As you can see, they're very healthy. But one of the problems with them is when they send up the shoots that get the little onions on the top, they are very, very brittle. And growing on the corner right here next to the sidewalk, they have a tendency to get broken. So if you should choose to grow these, you want to make sure you put them in a protected spot. So I'm going to dig them out right now, and then we're going to move them to some place where they can live a little bit more happily. Okay, we've got this bunch out. We'll take them over to a much more protected spot. In the middle of the row here so that they won't get bumped into or injured. And I'm also going to try separating them a little bit. They've been in that spot for a couple of years. They do overwinter. They have nice healthy roots on them. So we'll separate them a little bit. They come apart quite easily, and you can eat the bottom part as well. Now that's not the most exciting part, since that's just onions on the bottom, but they're certainly just as edible as the ones on the top. Of course, if you harvest the ones on the bottom, they won't come back the following year. Let's get this is a nice big one here. Try to get as many of the roots on as intact as possible. These are very healthy. And Just keep them out of the way of people and pets, and they should do quite nicely for you. And remember, they're called Egyptian onions, and they get the onion part at the top. We'll see you next week here in my backyard.
This month, Health Facts focuses on mental health with Doug Halverson of the Middlesex County Mental Health Clinic.
Family problems come in as many shapes and sizes as there are families. For the single parent, the constant attempt to be both father and mother can push even the most clever and creative beyond the limit of personal expedience. For the family with a chronically ill or disabled member, even the healthy can become emotionally scarred over the years. The birth of a new baby and the attendant demands placed on parents can result in the older children feeling shoved aside and less important. For families going through a divorce, loyalties can become divided, confused, and guilt-producing. Money problems can be the symptoms of societal insensitivity and a slowing economy, but often are mutually interpreted by family members as the fault of each other. A change of residence necessitated by a job promotion can feel like a significant loss. School problems of a child can cause that child to feel labeled by the rest of the family as stupid or lazy. But those school problems might in fact be the unconscious attempt of the poor student to stir a fragmented and indifferent family into united interest and concern. A drug or alcohol abusing member desperately trying to isolate him or herself from the rest of the family, in reality, can paradoxically ensure the continuation of bitter interdependence. Families of mixed ethnic, religious, or national backgrounds can experience difficulty in understanding each other's views, needs, and priorities. Family problems come in every imaginable shape and size. But what of resources available for families in pain or in turmoil? Religious communities, churches, and synagogues can be of enormous support. Even in this technological age, clergy remain the most common first contact for persons seeking help. Pious platitudes have generally become replaced by knowledge-based pastoral counseling and referral. Family physicians are also excellent and commonly used advisors. Insensitive, hurried over-medication seems by far the exception rather than the rule. School personnel dedicated to a holistic understanding of child growth and development can be invaluable sources of non-punitive feedback. Remember, they see our kids far more than we see our kids. Mental health specialists are accessible to families and individuals in this area in abundance. Clinical psychologists, clinical social workers, marriage counselors, psychiatrists, substance abuse counselors, all are available both as private practitioners and through agencies. Family counseling agencies, mental health clinics, child guidance clinics, drug counseling, and alcohol counseling centers are readily available. Most of these have sliding scales for the fee based upon the ability to pay. In all, confidentiality is closely protected. May is National Mental Health Month. If you've always thought about getting help for yourself or for your family members, it's a good time to put your intention into action. Further information may be requested from Catholic Charities at 257-6100, the South Amboy Memorial Hospital at 721-1000, or Middlesex County Mental Health Clinic at 613-9100. I'm Doug Halverson from the Middlesex County Mental Health Clinic, a service to Middlesex County residents sponsored by the Board of Chosen Freeholders, and this is Health Facts.
Hello, and welcome to Consumer Aware. I'm Adrienne Eisner, Director of the East Brunswick Consumer Affairs Office. At this time of the year, when many homeowners are using their gasoline-powered mowers, it is important to stop and think of the safety precautions we should be taking so that we can avoid serious injury. A lawn mower is a useful piece of equipment, but can be deadly if not handled properly. Before mowing, become familiar with the mower, its operation, hazards, safety instructions, and warning labels. Fuel up before starting and do it out of doors. Wipe up any gas spills. A spark from the motor could easily start a fire or explosion. Put on sturdy, non-slip shoes to avoid foot injuries. Do not cut the grass while barefoot or wearing sneakers. Wear close-fitting clothing to prevent apparel from becoming entangled in the mower. Go over the lawn carefully to pick up stones, wires, toys, dog bones, or anything the mower might pick up and throw. If the lawn is wet, wait. Wet grass will clog the mower, and attempts to unclog blades cause many serious injuries. Fingers and hands are number one in power mower accidents. Don't use fingers to clear the chute of a running mower. Shut the mower off before emptying the grass catcher, and never leave a running mower unattended. While you are mowing, mow forward as much as possible so you can see where you're going and avoid pulling the mower back over your foot. With walk-behind mowers, go across the slopes. With riding mowers, go up and down the slopes. While operating, keep hands and feet clear of the mower blade housing at all times. Never refuel while the mower is running or the engine is hot. Do not allow children to operate the mower. Small children can be injured seriously while operating power mowers or even when playing nearby. The United States Consumer Product Safety Commission estimates that 5,000 persons are treated annually in hospital emergency rooms for injuries associated with walk-behind power mowers. Be an alert operator, spot the dangers, and avoid many potential problems for you and the members of your family. If you have any further questions, please contact us at the East Brunswick Consumer Affairs Office. We are located in the municipal building. Our hours are from 9 until 5, Monday through Friday. The telephone number is 390-6954. Thank you for joining me on Consumer Aware. See you again next time.
At Monday night's council action meeting, Mayor William Fox proclaimed this week National Police Week. 18 officers were awarded proclamations for outstanding performance during this year. 6 civilians were also honored. And the 1988 municipal budget was adopted. The council voted to release performance bond held for K.E.B.U.G club development, and the council voted to amend the zoning of senior citizen housing so that 36 units could be constructed per acre. Also Monday, the Latchkey program was discussed. This child care program will be up for public hearing May 23rd. Also this date, a $3 million bond ordinance for capital improvements throughout the township will be up for public discussion. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.